On BBC Radio Lincolnshire. Melvin in the morning, with you through until 1 o'clock today. Something we've touched on in the past on this programme, but I think it's worth returning to. Lyme disease is what we're going to talk about for a little while. Now, don't worry, because I know what will happen. Every time we talk about things like this, you start scratching, because Lyme disease is passed on, in some cases, from a bite from a tick. And someone who's got experience of this is with me in the studio today. I've got with me Julia Knight from Lincolnshire, but she is the press manager for Lyme Disease UK. Julia, good morning.
Good morning.
You caught Lyme disease, if that's the right way to put it. How long ago was that?
So I'm in my 20th year, so I was bitten in the spring of 1999.
Bitten by a tick, you assume?
Yeah.
Okay, and what actually happens then when a tick bites you or gets onto your body somehow? What actually happens to you?
Okay, so the tick is looking for a feed of blood, so it will attach to you and burrow into you. Now, they can be as small as a poppy seed, especially early in spring when they're at their tiniest. They're in the nymph stage because they go through different stages of their life cycle. So, if you're lucky enough, I don't know if lucky is the right word, to spot the tick, then it's essential that you get it out straight away, properly, with either a little tick tool, which you can buy from any vet, or some fine tip tweezers. And it's essential to get that tick out. So if you know you've had a tick bite, you need to look for either a rash that appears around the site, and it can resemble a bullseye shape, but not always.
How large would that be?
They spread.
Right, okay.
So the rash can start really small around the site, and the telling thing is that it slowly spreads outwards.
And is that what happened to you?
No, I didn't have a rash, and a lot of people don't get the rash. So although it's a telltale sign, not everybody gets it.
So what happened to you after you were bitten by the tick?
Okay, so I got bitten probably, I think it was the first week in May. And then I was fine. I had slight irritation, not itchiness, but slight irritation under my armpit. Couldn't see anything there, just ignored it. So in the July, I started to feel unwell, a bit out of sorts, but I was a bit of a workaholic, so I was just like, oh, I'm fine.
And you worked in nursing, didn't you?
Yeah, I was a senior nurse. Never heard of Lyme disease, that says it all. And went through that. And then in the October, I was working. I was actually at the hospice in Lincoln on a study day and collapsed. But nobody could work out what was wrong. And this happened 2 or 3 times. And within 6 weeks, I was unable to get out of bed. I couldn't write my own name some days. I couldn't read properly. I couldn't swallow, only fluids, and every day would be different, and I truly thought I was going mad.
And this meant, in effect, you had to give up your job, didn't you?
Yeah, I've never worked since.
People won't realise how serious then this can be. Are we sort of saying that anybody, if you're out walking in the countryside, you could pick up a tick and be susceptible to it?
Yes, you can. And the thing we need to get across is we all like our foreign holidays, and we all go off on holiday with our repellent from malaria. And yet we have this threat in our country. Now, I have to say that not all ticks carry the bacteria. But if you don't protect yourself by wearing repellent, not walking through the woods in flip-flops and shorts, being aware, which is what our awareness campaign is about, if you don't do any of those things, like I say, you wouldn't go to a country with malaria without taking precautions. Yet we do in the UK.
You mentioned that not all ticks carry the virus or whatever it is. So do we get sort of pockets of the virus? Is there research being done to see where most of the cases arise, or is it right across the whole country?
Okay, so the disease itself is a bacterial infection.
Okay.
That gets into the bloodstream. Now, there's a very good organisation and website called the Big Tick Project, which you can go on their website and you'll see on that ticks are now endemic in every county in the UK. And certainly in Lincolnshire, I've had people coming to me for advice who have been bitten locally.
Bitten locally, but it hasn't necessarily developed into Lyme disease.
Yes, a lady shared her story with me who was gardening in Saxelby and was bitten. Lucky enough, her GP was on the ball, diagnosed it promptly and was treated promptly, and she's now fit and well, and that's the key.
The key is prompt treatment. So if you get bitten by a tick, would you recommend getting it checked out straight away?
So at the moment, the guideline says if you get bitten by a tick, keep an eye out, for the rash, but then not everybody gets it, or for a flu-like illness, which is probably like I had in the July. At the moment, GPs don't treat prophylactically, i.e. before symptoms. Whether that needs discussing, I'm not sure. But as I said before, not all ticks carry the bacteria, so we're not wanting to panic everybody. But what I am saying is ticks don't go around with a label on them saying, I'm not infected. So protect yourself. And if you are unlucky enough to get a tick, hopefully it's a non-infected one.
If people want more details, there's a website, lymediseaseuk.com, or use the hashtag WakeUpToLyme. You're trying to heighten awareness by illuminating some buildings across the country, aren't you? What are you doing? OK,
so May is Lyme Awareness Month. Lyme Disease UK are a team of all volunteers. We rely on donations for the work we do, and yet we carry out a huge awareness campaign in May. We send out hundreds of packs free to people, which you can find how to do that on our website. At present, there's no national awareness campaign. So as it's May at the moment, one of the things we're doing is asking national iconic landmarks to light up in green for Lyme awareness. And in the last few days, we've had the Spinnaker Tower in Portsmouth light up, Blackpool Tower, Manchester Town Hall. Off the top of my head, I'm forgetting which ones, but we've had about 6 and there's more coming. Fantastic. Well, let us know how the campaign goes. I will direct everybody towards the website for more information, lymediseaseuk.com, and let's hope more and more people are aware of the situation. Julia, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.